Hey travelers, Mag and I here on day 53 of our trip across the United States. This morning we're starting off our adventure in Port Huron, and we're back on the road today. We've got about 250 miles to cover between here and Saginaw. We've got about the next 3 days where we're going to be back on the road again, and then we've got some admin days that we're very excited about. Today's route is fairly easy. With the miles we have to cover, it's not going to be a problem on timing. We have a lot of virtuals, earth caches, and interesting geocaches in the agenda today. So hopefully we've got enough time to spread those out through the day and be able to make finds on all of them. If we find that we're getting short on time by the end of the day, we're going to go ahead and start making cuts on our target list so that we can make sure that no matter how it goes, we end in Saginaw by the end of the day. We're definitely excited to be back on the road again after the short mileage days, and Ai-chan can really use the break after the 8 miles she put on yesterday. So come along, join us today as we explore the eastern part of southern Michigan. Come on, let's go. Ai-chan and I got our day started off in Pine Grove Park in Port Huron. She was immediately fascinated with the squirrels. Like this little guy, just trying to enjoy a nice apple for breakfast. She wasn't too keen on the black squirrel trying to steal that apple, though. Ai-chan was watching this little troublemaker, making sure he didn't cause any more problems in the park. This nice spot on the St. Clair River is right on the mouth of the bay into Lake Huron. It was constantly busy with shipping traffic. But what's most unique about this park is that it is home of the Heron Lightship, which was the last operating lightship on the Great Lakes. Lightships like this would anchor in areas where it was too deep, expensive, or impractical to build a solid lighthouse. This particular ship served for over 50 years, not retiring until 1970. It spent 36 of those years stationed at Corsica Shoals, a sandy area 6 miles north of Port Huron. After being retired from service, she was permanently moored here in the sand along the banks of the St. Clair River. She now serves exclusively as a museum and was dedicated in 1990 as a National Historic Landmark. We were thrilled to not only have the opportunity to tour the ship this morning, but also to learn a few things about the lightships that were in service here on the Great Lakes. The bow of the ship offered us a view of our next destination, the Bridge to Bay Trail, which runs under the Blue Water Bridge seen here. This trail is actually a diverse system of boardwalks, riverwalks, rail trails, and bike paths that extend 50 miles along the shoreline of St. Clair County. We followed a small track of the trail north from Port Huron through Lighthouse Park, Lakeside Park, and Fort Gratiot County Park. There were tons of statues, memorials, and historical artifacts to be seen all along the way on the trail. Like this anchor recovered from the wreckage of the John S. Martin, which lies 600 feet northeast of the monument. Or the Blue Water Maiden perched high atop this boulder. She was a gift to the city to signify the abundance of water in the area. And of course, our trip here would not be complete without getting to see the Fort Gratiot Lighthouse. It commands a powerful viewpoint right at the transition point between the St. Clair River and Lake Huron. After traveling just a little ways north in the Thumb, Ai-chan and I found a trail leading out to a Port Huron beach. She wasn't too sure about it at first, thinking I might be taking her on another walk like yesterday. But she changed her tune real quick when she realized we were just coming for the view. Well, and the geocache. She searched the area out for good smells first before allowing me to search for the geocache. Then she pulled up a nice spot to sit, relax, and wait while I did my thing. She didn't seem to care how long it took me. After the find, it was on north again to the Cinelic Courthouse in Sandusky. This county courthouse is just a little over 100 years old now. The area is very well maintained and picturesque. And like all of the great county courthouses, features a veterans memorial right out front. Honor, duty, commitment, words to live by. Our geocache find of the day came not too far out of town. As soon as we pulled up, we knew that it was going to be located in one of these two drainage tunnels. So we carefully picked our way down, squished our way over to the entrance, and voila! Geocache in hand. It was nearing midday now, and Ai-chan still had not had a good walk, so we visited the Cinelic Petroglyphs Historic State Park. This place seemed perfect for her tired muscles because it was a 1-mile loop trail around the park. Not too far, not too short. The trail was just right. Unfortunately, because we visited outside of the museum hours, we didn't get a chance to see the petroglyphs. But the trail system itself is still open and a great spot for the dog to walk. And there were 8 separate locations to view potholes all along the course of the trail. It runs up against the course of the river right about the time you reach the halfway point in the loop. I was very happy to see this river, even though it meant the mosquitoes were out in force in this spot. Me trying to explain to Aichan that it's a loop trail. It's shorter if we go that way. Come on, this way. Come on, come on. We'll go back to the car this way. She doesn't believe me. With a little more encouragement, I was finally able to get the dog to continue following me on the loop trail. I can certainly understand her hesitation. After 8 miles yesterday, her legs are sore. But that doesn't mean she can just sleep the day away while I grab county targets. She's still got to get those legs moving, at least a little bit, every single day. And you really can't beat a beautiful trail like this. Not only does it feature the petroglyphs and potholes on the front half, but on the back half of the trail there are also a couple of bridges that cross over the river, which I thought made the hike worth it all by themselves. The dog, however, only reluctantly continued to travel with me. She wholeheartedly believed that we were getting further and further from the car, right up until the time we saw it come up in the distance. Look, Aichan, I promise you, this bridge is the end of it, no more. With the dog now thoroughly walked, we popped over to Harbor Beach for a short visit. This sandy beach is protected by a break wall that was originally constructed in 1873. The break wall prevents major wave action and turns the harbor into a place of refuge for ships. Between 1877 and 1899, over 47,000 ships sought shelter here. And then on to another quick geocache find. If only they could all be this easy. And then finally we reached our last stop of the day, Bay City. We immediately made our way over to Battery Park in downtown. This beautiful park sits between the county courthouse building and the library across the street. There are a total of 4 cannons between the 2 buildings, and lots of other interesting statues to see between those. But of course, as usual, it was the Veterans Memorial that got us. Dedicated in 2017, this is the state's first Gold Star Family Memorial. Well, travelers, wouldn't you know it, that wraps up another great day spent out here on the road. Aichan and I have had a fantastic time today. We started our morning off in Port Huron, and immediately we were able to go aboard that ship and get a tour. That was really cool. Not to mention all the ships going up and down the river the whole time we were there. Afterwards, we spent a little bit more time on the road, and we spent pretty much the whole day within the thumb of Michigan. We're ending our day here between Bay City and Saginaw. We were initially supposed to get to Saginaw tonight and be able to do the virtuals before sundown, but as you can see, that didn't happen. That's the end of our sunlight right there. That's okay though, because Veterans Memorial Park down here makes a fantastic stop for the end of our day. This has been quite the adventure, and I hope you're enjoying staying tuned with us. Like this video, subscribe for daily updates, and we'll see you out on the trails.